Rock with You is right. Auction bidders paid top dollar for a series of art masterpieces last night in what's being called the sale of the century. The collection of David and Peggy Rockefellers is being sold off at Christie's here in New York. It includes paintings by Picasso, Monet, and other legendary artists. The three-day event has already broken the record for the most valuable private collection ever sold. Anthony Mason was one of the bidders in the auction. Anthony, good
my wife
morning.
will
What'd you
pick
get?
up something nice for the bathroom.
Yes.
Gayle, you just made my wife's blood pressure. Good morning. The crown jewels of the Rockefeller family art collection went up for sale in the first session. Just 44 lots, but they brought in nearly $650 million, and the bidding was fevered.
65 million. Give me 66.
The bids jumped in multi-million-dollar increments.
Here it is at 102 million.
The tone was set early when this Matisse
Yours it is.
sold for $80 million, an all-time record for the artist. Two lots later, Monet's Water Lilies in Bloom soared past its $50 million estimate as auctioneer Jussi Pelkkanen juggled 5 bidders.
It's like a tennis game with 5 rackets.
The bidding rallied back and forth with increasing suspense
68 million.
and kept climbing.
It's never too late to jump in. At 71 million.
The final price, nearly $85 million, including a buyer's commission. Also an all-time record for Monet.
To have on the same night records for 2 of the geniuses of painting, Matisse and Monet, is something that I never imagined would happen.
The Rockefeller collection may be the most important private collection ever sold.
Welcome to the annual meeting of the Chase Manhattan Corporation.
The longtime chief of Chase Manhattan Bank, David Rockefeller, was the grandson of America's first billionaire, John D. Rockefeller, who made his fortune in Standard Oil. David's father built Rockefeller Center, where in a 2002 interview for Sunday Morning, he gave me a tour of the family offices.
This is a Juan Gris that actually belonged to Gertrude Stein.
Even here, he surrounded himself with the masters of modern art.
Is collecting for you a compulsion?
It's a pleasure.
A pleasure David shared with his wife Peggy, says David Rockefeller Jr., who organized the sale after his father's death last year at 101.
They always agreed about an important artwork, or it didn't get bought.
Oh,
there
really?
was effectively a veto power.
The library of the Rockefellers' New York townhouse had been home to perhaps the most coveted masterpiece in the collection, Picasso's Young Girl with a Flower Basket. It sold last night for $115 million, a record for a Rose period Picasso. By the end of the first night, Christie's Jessica Fertig says the auction had raised $646 million.
We have already broken the record for any collection sale.
And the Rockefellers' collections of furniture, porcelain, and American paintings are still to come as the auction continues today and tomorrow.
So still to come, paintings by Hopper, Sargent, and George O'Keeffe. The sale's expected to go well past $750 million. All of the proceeds going to charity, which is amazing. And it's also interesting that so far all the winning bids were anonymous, but we have been told that about half of them are American.
Oh, I so love these lifestyles of the rich and the famous stories, because it's interesting to hear the auctioneer say, 70 million, not too late to get in. You can spend that
Can
much
you imagine
money.
making that decision?
No, and still having money left over.
What I love is Monet, before he died, killed 15 of his paintings, slashed them, said, my life is a failure, I'm just going to go disappear. Obviously, people still find value in his work.
Wow.
Thanks, Anthony.